Insights. It's great to see you, not only just on Facebook Live, but a live audience too. Starting to fill up here down at Northwest Training Center. So we invite you every fourth Wednesday to come here at 8 a.m. to hear some great speakers, find out what's going on not just in Marana, but in our region too. I'm Audra Winters. I'm your president and CEO of the Marana Chamber, and this is my last Marana Insights, but I am very happy to be handing over the reins to Miss Amanda Wiggins. So welcome, Amanda.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. This is my first day, so I'm excited to kick it off with this great news and momentum for the community.
All right, we will now welcome Ginny Hoffman up to be our moderator this morning. Before we get started, I do want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Ed Stolmaker's family. He did pass yesterday, if you have not heard the news, and he was a great part of not just Marana, but the Marana Chamber for 15 plus years. So he will be missed, and we do send our condolence to his family. So, Jenny, take it away.
Thank you. So great to see the room starting to fill up. So hopefully next month will be even more full and have to add a few more tables. So again, my name is Ginny Huffman, owner-broker of Imagine Realty Services and your moderator this morning. And now that we have people in the room, I'd like to go back to our introductions. So if we could start around the room and just your name and your company, and then we'll be able to get started with our speaker. So, speak up.
Economic Development Specialist at the Town of Marana.
Phyllis M. Ferrando, Pest Control. Glenda Edwards, James Cooper Construction.
Audra Winters, Marana Chamber.
Amanda Wiggins, Marana Chamber.
All right, great. So awesome to have everybody here and to be able to get back to some semblance of normal. So on our agenda today, we're going to be listening to Jason Angel, the Development Services Director. He's going to give us a development update and also like our residential sales update as well. So welcome, Jason.
You hear me all right? Real loud? Scream at you. I don't want to do that. Well, good morning, everyone. As Ginny said, I'm Jason Angel. I'm the Director of Development Services. Yesterday in the office, Kurt and I were talking, and he says, why do I have to do the single-family updates? You do this in your department every day. So I'm going to go through real quick what Kurt would normally do every month. Handouts for those that are here are on your table. We continue to see a lot of residential growth. I'm sure everyone that drives through the community sees it. But for the month of May, we had 82 homes. And fiscal year to date, it's 924. And as part of the presentation, a lot of it is still focused towards residential. For month to date, right now for June, we are at 90 homes. So we are at 1,014 homes. It's the first time Marana has eclipsed 1,000 single-family homes since 2006. Numbers are just continuing to go crazy, and through the subdivisions that you'll see on the screen, we project that next year it's just going to continue in this same trajectory. For business licenses, we had 5 for the month of May, 30 for the calendar year, and fiscal year to date, we're at 56, which is also a very strong number for us as far as new business growth. So with that, as I go through the presentation, Steve Cheslak and obviously Kurt are here. They are here to also assist with any questions you might have. And along the way, please feel free to stop me if you have any questions about a particular development, and we'll do our best to address those questions for you. What I wanted to do is, within our department, Steve and his staff has helped to put together entitlement maps that we have. These maps are broken down into the regions that we have in the community, where we have Northwest, Northeast, and Southern Marana. But what these show are the approved entitlements within the community. And many of these could be a decade plus old, and we're starting to see them come back to life. But in the Northeast area, we have just shy of 14,000 SFR, single-family homes, that have been planned or approved for development in those areas. So far, year to date, we're just shy of 6,500 that have been built. The next couple of slides is showing where these developments are starting to ramp up. If you've driven the Twin Peaks corridor recently, you start to see a lot of the earth movement that's going on out there. Some of the developments are already under construction. So at the very end of Dove Mountain, we have plats that are currently being reviewed. Saguaro Reserve 1 and 2, it's 173 platted in June, and 297 more that are proposed. That is the last real big piece of the Dove Mountain area that is to be built out. There are smaller pockets within there that still exist. Ultimately, Dove Mountain, when it was approved as a master plan community, was 9,000 residential units. We're not going to get to that number, or the developer will not get to that number. I want to say they're close to maybe 5,000, 5,500 units up there. So they're not going to get to that 9,000, but there are quite a few developments that have yet to get going there. The important thing to note on this plat here is, you see where Dove Mountain Boulevard comes to a cul-de-sac ultimately at the very end here. There's a park that's built to the southwest side of that. That plat has been modified recently, where that cul-de-sac will reserve additional right-of-way extending out to the far west. That, if and when it ever does happen, will ultimately allow for the second connection out of Dove Mountain to come down either to Tangerine or ultimately out to I-10, depending upon which trajectory it takes. The other one is Tortolita 30. This is an 82 lot. It's currently in the preliminary platting stage. This is just to the east of the C-STEM school that's up there. So it's on the backside of the Highlands development, but to the east of the C-STEM school. Then one thing that we're starting to see a lot more interest of in the community is rental housing. Anyone that's in real estate understands that even rental housing is tough for people to find that are relocating to the community. So Community Oeste Rental Homes, this is part of the Cottonwood development. Development plan for 218 rental homes. And this was recently approved in June to move forward. So, just to the north of that is a rezoning request that's currently going through the process. We anticipate end of summer, early fall, it'll make it through the rezoning process. It's a rezoning for a current rural development that will go to an R7 zoning for 82 lots to be created up there. Moving a little further south, Twin Peaks and Comunidad de Manana, rezoning to allow for 66 residential lots. We're coming down towards the Blue Bonnet area where the water reservoir is right now. So all these developments are helping Marana to be able to extend utilities up along the Twin Peaks corridor. Our approach has always been at the town of Marana that development pays their way, which I don't think is foreign to many municipalities. They expect that. But this is a key piece to being able to extend utilities, water services up along the Twin Peaks corridor. If you haven't been on Tangerine in a while, and actually you don't even have to go on Tangerine, if you haven't been on I-10 heading north, and you look off by where breakers used to be, you can see the steel going up for PVB fabrications. I know Kurt has talked about this development a number of times in the past, but this is really starting to take shape, and we just put this image in here that was on their website. It's a large facility that's going up there, manufacturing facility. Kurt, have you heard when they're planning to occupy or complete the project?
By first quarter of next year.
Okay, so
5 employees, a little north of that at final phase 3 build out.
okay, so end of first quarter next year, 105 employees. So now as we look over at the northwest side of the community, this is where a lot of our activity is taking place. A lot of our development interest continues to be, and it's largely because the infrastructure that is there as well as the entitlements that are in place. So once again, 27,000 entitled lots up there, SFRs. So far, we are just over 4,000 that have been built out. And we've all driven through and seen the Glen Farms activity, other developments that are coming online. We got Mandarina, we got Vanderbilt that are very progressive in their development discussions, as well as a number of other ones that have been entitled for, like I said, maybe a decade or so, that are now coming back to the table and showing interest to get going. The farm fields is a nice place for everyone to kind of get in and get going. And like I said, the utility infrastructure that's in place, the road network that's there, allows for easy access for them. Quick Trip is under construction over there on the northwest side of Tangerine and I-10. They're moving along very quick. That project's going up very nicely. So we would look for that to be opened up probably around the fall of this year. Ventana Medical has recently broken ground on their second phase of the development or their expansion. The existing facility is 60,000 square feet. They're doubling in size with this one. Another rezoning request that we're processing right now is Gladden Farms. We call it Gladden Farms 3. They are labeling it as Crossroads at Gladden. It's the same development group, but they're breaking it away from the existing neighborhoods that are there. But it'll have the same look, feel. This is a mixed-use rezoning that will have some residential. There will have some transitional areas, which will kind of transition into that larger commercial piece. The majority of the property is targeted towards commercial or employment type rezonings in that area. In Gladden 2 is going a lot quicker than they had anticipated. Talking with Dean Wingert and OK Real, the development representatives for Crown West, they were anticipating that Gladden 2 would be 5 to 7 years for them to really build out. Every one of the blocks in here, with the exception of the southeast side here, which is the commercial property, has been sold. They have buyers, builders ready to go. And in their voice, they can't put the lots out there fast enough. That's how quick these builders want to go. But in this one, the image that's shown here, it's 115 lots that have been platted, and they're just shy of 500 that are currently going through the process right now. Dirt's flying all over, roads are going up, utilities are being expanded, and as soon as these are done, they'll move into the next couple of blocks. Cypress Gardens, this is one of the older existing zonings that are there. They are looking at doing a rezoning for this one to modify the adopted specific plan to allow for 217 lots. It's a rezoning to an R3.5, and what it is to allow them to adjust their lot sizes. They had a mixture, or currently have a mixture of lot sizes within there, but it's for a better flow of the development is what they're proposing. This is at the intersection of Sandario and Barnett, so kind of just outside of Town Hall. Remington Ranch is another one that's been in place. Rezoning to R3.5 for 450 plus lots to go in there. This is a development that's currently split zoned. To the north side, they have one zoning, to the south side they have another. They want to balance the site out, have consistent lots throughout that. So the R3.5 is the lowest that we have. Most of the lot currently, and I say that because the council just adopted a new land development code. It goes into effect July 15th, so we will have some different zoning districts there. But they select the R3.5 because in order to go for a lot size that's lower than 6,000 square feet, that is the only available one. So the lots aren't going to be 3,500 square feet. They're probably going to be more of like 4,800 or 5,600, or I don't know exactly what these ones are proposed. But when you see the R3.5, that's why we use that one to go up. Going to the south side, 15,500 single-family homes that are approved in that area through the entitlements. We're just over 9,000. Most of the development activity that's on the south side from a residential standpoint is saguaro bloom. That's what we see out in this area. So it continues to be very attractive for families to move out into that area. And it's also seeing just as much activity as far as planning and development as we see in the Gladden Farms area. So with that, saguaro bloom block 7C is 116 lots. This is the area that's on the northeast side, abutting up against the backside of the mountain there. So their development is really progressing along very nicely, to the point that actually even the park that's out in that area is really getting to the point where it's going to start progressing very nicely and moving into activity. It's a regional park that's going to be built out in that area. It'll be a nice amenity. There's already a great development out there as far as their community center that they have there, their aquatic facility that they have, as well as other parks and trails and amenities out there. Yes?
What's the name of that, the regional park?
I don't think they've identified a name for it yet. Saguaro Bloom Regional Park. No, I don't think they've developed a name for that. So moving over by the Safeway area, this is a new commercial shell building that's going up. They have one tenant that's been identified in there. That is the Filibertos. This is Twin Peaks and Silverbell. So where Orange Theory is right now in that parking lot, go basically right across the existing small parking lot for them, and that's where this development will be. Off of Coach Line in the Continental Ranch area, there's a small little infill development that's there, 27 lot subdivision. There's that existing community center, is that what it's called, Patty? The pool and community center that's right there. Yeah, off of Coach Line. And then there's the residential neighborhood. There's a small little infill area that's there. Going up by the outlet mall, Bill Luke Auto Dealership. It'll be our first auto dealership. It's when the mall was planned, that was what was anticipated to come with it. So it's nice to see the dealership coming in as part of this. Currently going through the review process. We're waiting for their second submittal to go through that. And then this will be right at the main entrance into the outlet mall. So right on the corner. Great visibility for them. I think it's like a 12-acre site, probably 11 acres of a parking lot. But it's a good business to have in town from a tax-based standpoint. HSL seems like every other year they're doing one, but their next project is up at the outlet mall, and they're getting ready to get going there. 272 units. They do have a different design for this development than what they have done in their past couple of developments. I don't believe we've received any colored elevations that are a final design, but they have a different architect on board for this particular project. But still same type of approach as far as the apartment, the amenities, the size of the units, things of that nature. Off of Cortero, this one's under construction. You can see it just to the west of the Dutch Brothers. It basically mirrors the existing multi-tenant that's there, where like Serial Grillers and Arby's is in that one. So this is underway, and I would anticipate we'll start to see tenants moving in and doing their finishings probably around the fall. That's moving very nicely in there. There's also a lot of other development interest that's going on in this particular area. The council has been asked to review and approve a subdivision that was related to a hotel that would go in. That is the northwest, the top northwest lot there. That is for the hotel to go in there. We haven't seen the plan for it, but in talking with the developer, they are still progressing very nicely with that one. So we anticipate seeing hotel reviews starting hopefully in the next couple of months here. Album of Marana. This is, so looking at this image, you are looking at it from Lehman Academy. So 141 active living adults. They call it restricted, they call it senior, it's active living. That is about to break ground and move forward. It'll be a nice development, nice amenities. The interior is a very nice pool and kind of recreational space for these active adults right there. Then, just over on Silver Bell, as you're coming down from the park, coming down this way, then there's Silver Bell Gateway Apartment. That is the activity that you see right now, all the grading that's going on out there. You might see some fencing, some screening along Silver Bell there. That is the apartment project, 300-unit apartment complex that is proposed to go up there and moving along very nicely there. And immediately to the south of that, I'm sure everyone's heard about it, the distribution center. That is nearing completion of review, and they are looking to get going, and you'll probably see some earthwork starting out there the middle of next month. 220,000 square feet distribution facility. And we don't know the name yet. I'm just going to throw it out there. Yes, Patty. We'll probably shoot for like 8. No. No. On the backside of Target, Airy Drive, this is the Alexander Apartments, 211 units. This is part of the overall development. And if you look at this image, I realize it's a little hard to see it. Maybe on the far east side of the image, there are a couple of outlots there, buildings. There's buildings right there that are part of the apartment project, but right on the other side of that is reserved for commercial development to also be included as part of the plans for that. This right now is the apartment project portion of it. And with that, we are busy. We are extremely busy. It's great. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of development interest. There continues to be a lot of development interest. Kurt, Steve, myself, Terry talked about it yesterday during the council study session. Our phones are ringing off the hook with new development interest. The commercial side is starting to pick up as far as interest there. So any questions, I will be happy to try and address them with you guys in the back. Okay.
Really ramp up again. Is there any more discussion of a grocery store?
That sounds yeah. Unfortunately, there has not been any conversation related to grocery. However, I will say that, we continue to have those conversations. Staff at every opportunity, the development representatives up there in Thrive property or any of the other commercial development opportunities in North Ryan, just in general. We're not just looking general Glen Farms. And they have some interest and potential for the grocery. It'll be here eventually, but exactly when that's Kurt holds the keys to the grocery store.
which was the PITG. The hotel complex by Cortero shops there, is that still completed in additional?
No, the one that was being represented to us when they went through the development home. Yes. Yes.
You mentioned the potential, or if it went, there might be a second road going into
Well, the current Dove Mountain Boulevard was designed to be able to meet the emergency access requirements, and that's why it's split median. So if one side needed to be shut down, you could still go both ways. But the trigger that's going to ultimately be for a secondary access is one, obviously going to be financial, but the entire Dove Mountain area is surrounded by state land. So there's going to have to be some negotiations as well as possibly rezonings that would allow for development to be able to pull that road out. Because as I said, development paves the way for roads to go in there. So unless you magically find a bunch of money and the council decides that they want to put it towards that secondary access, it's always been development paves their way. And so yeah, so there isn't by 9,000 units. That's going to bring that up. Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. So, again, since we're primarily back in person, I'm going to do what I've always done in the past, and that's ask a few people who are here that are either representing the town or some of the larger companies, maybe give us a little update. So I'd like to start with Northwest Fire. Is there anything you'd like to share with us? Okay, great. Thank you very much. It looks like Terry bailed on it. Well, he just knew it was going to put him on the spot, is what. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Patty, is there anything you'd like to mention to anybody?
We're just busy, busy, busy.
Okay.
Making up for lost time, I think.
All right. Well, unless anybody has anything else, yes.
We're just all in trouble now. Okay. Oh, do I have to wear this? Okay. I wrote it down. just highlighted, see little red lines? Okay, a quickie. My name is Phyllis M. Ferenga. I moved to Marana in 1978, and I live in Marana Estates. Back in October 2020, I wrote a letter about affordable housing to key personnel and planners in Pima County. That letter developed a life of its own. City planners, influential visionaries organized an affordable housing summit, several small-scale housing workshops, and a zoning land use review board. Affordable housing, small-scale housing builders, and zoning reform is the grassroots of economic opportunity and economic growth for all people, not just the few. So I'm asking for your help to bring in diversity to Marana, co-ops, casitas, and the zoning apartheid. Urban injustice started when profit and greed from farmers, ranchers, developers of master plan communities, and councils worked together as insiders. Some council members posed as farmers while actually they were land developers. She went on to say towns have gotten sophisticated, avoiding the Fair Housing Act 8-30G programs, taking the tax credits, but never building affordable housing. There needs to be a private sector solution to affordable housing and local small business growth. Help me end this zoning discrimination against certain people. You could stop any future poverty. Okay, I have homework for you. There's a book with your name on it, over here, and then a very interesting case involving a Utah farmer. It's Prospect Newtown. This is not an affordable project, but it was a farmer that challenged the cookie cutter machine.
Okay, thank you very much, Phyllis. So, and unless there's anything else, I would assume that we're ready to finalize. Audra, did you have any final words for everyone before you abandon us?
And again, Jenny, thank you for being here and moderating for us, and thank you to the town staff for coming out and presenting to us and supporting us out here. And we just want to wish everybody a great day. Be safe out there. Take care of one another, and we will see you next month on July 28th. Take care. Bye.